What do you think about this NXT rebrand and remodel and relaunch on September 14th is the targeted date? There has been rumors on the internets that even Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, somebody who we're familiar with in the reality wrestling circles, are going to be taking over kind of the overarching production of the show. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and others, Matt Bloom and others still doing a lot of the day-to-day stuff. But what do you think about that rumor?
I'm just curious to see what the new NXT is going to look like. You got a lot of talent down there. You got more talent than you can imagine in that system down there. And I always wondered, what are they going to do with those guys? How are they going to actually use these guys? And not just use them, but get them to a point to where they can move up and because at the end of the day, man, you're trying to make some money. All right. You're trying to create some stars. You don't want these guys to be in NXT forever. All right. So these guys needs to be trained properly in order to get to that next level. My thing is this, man. I love the NXT system, but the one thing I would push, for that NXT system is, just say, for instance, man, let some of those guys come to reality of wrestling. Let some of those guys, go to some of these really, really good camps around the world, and just send them there for a month, just so they can understand what territorial wrestling really is about. Wrestling in front of different crowds is all about, opposed to just being, under that NXT, system. What's it? The Capital Center,
Capital Wrestling Center. Yeah,
exactly. Just working under that one system. I don't think it would hurt those guys at all. And the money that they're spending, I don't think it would be no more than they're spending already in trying to create better character development as well as wrestling skill, working on the fly in front of a crowd. I was just looking at a match earlier with myself and Benoit. It was from the Best of Seven, and I called a spot to Benoit. I said, "Hold the ropes and duck." He did the first part. He held the ropes and he didn't duck. And I was coming with my sidekick, and it went right over his head. I mean, I could have kicked him right in the face, but I literally jumped all the way over him. He was standing straight up. And it was my job to see him not ducking and be able to try to make sure I pull this thing off to where it still looked like, wow, man, the crowd just was totally blown away. So if we get a clip of it, we definitely show it to you. But that right there for me is something that I learned from, working, so many shows, peeking out of the curtain, watching and seeing what works, being in the middle of the action and being able to decipher exactly what I need to do on a moment's notice, opposed to having to think about it. I say, guys, when you're in one place for 1001, you've been there too long. So it's those type of things that I think that the NXT guys would benefit, training with someone like myself. I think would be so much beneficial for them. Yeah.
I think it would be as well. And here's the other thing I thought about when you think about NXT. The one thing that they're all developing into the superstars they're hopefully going to become, right? But where you learn the most, and I'm sure you could attest to this, when any wrestling veteran today or any superstar I've ever heard give an interview, they always talk about, oh, when I got to work with such and such, then I started to understand it. If you're all learning at the same time and you're learning from the same teachers, and when you're out there, you're wrestling guys who have somewhat of a similar experience level to you, you can't get to that next level of achievement because there's no one in there who's done it at the next highest level. I think that they're really missing a great opportunity because WWE right now has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to talent. There's so many guys and girls on that roster who there's not enough television time to utilize properly. I don't know why you don't maybe use some of those guys down for NXT. Some of these veterans who maybe are on the other side of their career, right? The roller coaster has hit its peak, and we're kind of going on the downswing a little bit.
Are you talking about from a training perspective?
From a training perspective and being on the show.
You know what? That's what I don't agree with that. I don't agree
But
with.
didn't you say you learned from being in there with guys?
I
Like when you work Ricky Steamboat, when you work Ric Flair, you learned.
Yeah, I did, but it's just such a different era now, and I just don't think the NXT brand grows by having older veterans a part of the company. I think it's about the new guys coming up and you know getting out there and having their shine. What I do think is, you know, there again, I don't want to throw any shade on any coach or the coaches or anything like that. I just think these guys need to see a lot of different variations of what coaching is, because from myself personally, I'm like a philosopher. I don't have to get in the ring with you to actually work with you. I got to get in your head and try to make you think a certain way. And then when you get in the ring, you know, you do it, or you don't. We'll look at it on film and then we'll talk about it. Sooner or later, you'll pick it up. And I just don't think actually having to be in the ring, just maybe for instance, from a training perspective in the gym, working on scenarios, but actually being in front of the crowd doing it. I just don't think that does anything for NXT, but make NXT just another, you know, addition of what SmackDown and what Raw is.
Look, there's no one way to skin a cat, but you've been teaching wrestling for 15 years, so
I
maybe
mean,
I defer. Maybe I defer to you.
I want to see how actually this new NXT turn out, because of course they want to make it different than what it is right now. Okay. And what it is right now is just an extension of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. There again, I said it, you know, from the beginning when NXT went national and you know went live. I said, man, it's going to be really hard for these guys to actually learn now, because the learning curve now is going to be on the job. Okay, you're gonna have to learn on the job. You can't, you know, actually spend time to actually try to feel your way through this thing. Now it's on the job training. You're in the ring in front of millions of people on a monthly basis. So now the game has totally changed. So I think you know, gearing down, changing that thing totally and making it a farm league that people can see. I don't know how you're going to be able to do that with it still being on USA though.
That's the problem.
That's the part for me that I'm grasping with, as far as, man, how are you going to make it smaller and it's still on USA? So I'm going to sit back and, you know, like everybody else, and wait and see what happens.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem. But they have a new, obviously, there's some new idea behind it. I don't know how long this idea has been cooked and developed, but you know, we're going to see what they're able to bring. The logo, a lot of people were giving a lot of slack to the logo. People didn't like it. I liked how it looks personally. I think it's cool. You know, I've seen the yellow for a while, but I kind of like how it is, and it has the, like you said, the Wale track, his new record, Down South Slangin'. I like it. I dig it.
I like, okay, it's not anything that I don't like, okay, but it's not something that changing the logo. Okay, what is that gonna make me feel a whole lot different? You know what I mean? Come on, it still says NXT. It just got some different painting and colors, you know, bright things up. You know, you think the New Day came up with the logo.
Very
But
colorful.
no, but I'm seeing it's very colorful. But I'm just wondering, you know, what is the brand, the difference in the brand going to be? That's what I'm anticipating. Because there again, training facility has to be all about the training for these guys to get to the next level. And to let people in on it and let people see it, that's one thing. But it's how it's delivered. You know, maybe it's going to be more of a storyline based, as far as, you know, what these guys' goals are. You know, how are they trying to get to that next level? Maybe it may turn into a reality show or something. I don't know, but that might be a good idea. That might be a good idea.
Did you get to see inside the redesigned Capitol Wrestling Center? Did you see what it looked like? The WWE put out a first look on their YouTube channel, so I didn't know if you got to see it.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
How did it look?
You want me? Can I share? You want to
Yeah.
see what it looks like?
Check it out.
All right. All right. So this is what the Capitol Wrestling Center will look like for NXT coming up here starting September the 14th. Can you see that book?
Yeah, I see it.
So this is what they're saying. If you can see what kind of their ideas of the redesign, as you said, a lot of colors, a lot of colors. That was the little
You know
teaser.
what? I like the seating arrangement. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just waiting to see exactly what the brand is. Okay, the wrestling is one thing. Creating the stars is one thing. But the brand NXT, I want to see exactly what that is until next week. What's 14th, right?
14th. So not this Tuesday, but the following.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get a chance to check it out and see exactly, how this thing play out. But let's take a quick break. We're gonna come back and talk about Paul White. Stick
Uh-oh.
around. We'll be
Here we
back.
go.